Welcome to the show. We're back. We're back once again, my friend. And yes, it is that time of the month when the moon is in banana friche, when people are forgetting about the concept of taking profit on their option trades. And we are here asking questions of price action yet again. Where have you come from? Where are you at now? And where might you be going next, Mr. Price Action, sir? Great to see everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We had a very busy day today. One thing ran into the next, and here we are. Initially, Rocky's internet didn't work, so he was delayed significantly. And then we were uploading new course content. Of course, we forgot to unmute the microphone at one stage. So I had to record all of that again. And there's a number of hours going to that. And we had other things to do in the meantime. So we ended up here at 2:45 in the morning with a bright, sparkly, pleasant update to the charts. We can see we have... Yeah, because we already have a donation, which came in a number of hours ago from Vlad. Thank you, Vlad. He says, blah, 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 Blagadoria. GME, which is nice. Thanks, Vlad. Blah, blah, blah. Good to see you, buddy. Meow, meow, meow. I have cat hair in my nose. Meow, meow, meow. How did it get there? I don't know. I didn't put it there. Somebody else must be hiding cat hair. Just a little storage facility. Right, so we're going into the charts. Welcome to the charts. This is GME. We're on the 4-hour time frame. For some reason, that's where we like to spend most of our days beat bopping. Our Roblox entry. You want a Roblox entry? You're asking the chat for thoughts on Roblox. Roblox, in this previous trade, you know, you had a healthy percentage move on that. So you took it that entry there, suggested one. There was a 20% on that. So, you know, who's a greedy chappy? And then price action has come back down, retested that low. And is that an entry, right? Well, a lot of people would say it is because it's an easy place to manage your stop. Other people would say, yo, we's looking at like an extension. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Though it might be similar to what I want. Is that you, Coco? I must check. You might be thinking to yourself, well, we're looking at an extension on this thing. Perhaps you'd need your stop below 51.84. Maybe you're looking even lower and down below. What's up? Very, very windy outside, so I didn't really want Coco going out on her own, but she's desperado to get out there, so, you know, Coco's the boss. So she's out, and you might be thinking this thing comes and you get 44. Right, that's a huge, another huge percentage move down, but it's just something to think about. GME, yeah, so price action, daily time frame here. You can see this formation on the chart, which is dominating trend since the end of July, all the way through summer, all the way through autumn, and coming into the end of winter, perhaps things have turned around. Let's turn off those drawings so you can see what's going on here. Downward trend. This was a higher high on daily time frame, but also higher high on the weekly time frame. Positive in that it changed the formation at the time, but we did anticipate a retrace in price action. First low we got on that was at 130, right? Very important level, around 131 bucks. And we would call that resistance to price action going any further. That's support, right? Because it's below price action. And then resistance was at our range high in this price action. It was mostly going sideways, right? Didn't break any previous high here, and we didn't break this low. And price action just kept going sideways. And then whence price action then returned from whence it came. Well, it broke down here, the resistance now instead of support because it's above us. And price action has returned to that same area, right, at 131. So that's what's happened. We have potentially put in an oscillation which could change the trend. Before you get confirmation of that, you would look to other signs. But you can say we've potentially done something. The start of something maybe, right? The start of something maybe. A hint of something good to possibly come. But one swallow doesn't make I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. This chart is bumped into my dreams. Am I awake? You're awake, Kieran. What are you doing awake? Ha, Kieran. Lovely Kieran there. What a guy. Relying on that Mr. Kieran there for something at the minute. He's very, very good. Thank you very much, Kieran. No pressure. Oh my God, so much pressure. Thanks, Kieran. So you're looking at this price action thinking, has it changed? Has it changed? What else can we look at to give us some idea as to whether or not we can expect continuation of this trend or perhaps a break and a reversal in price action? Taco ramen is real? Is it? What's that mean then? So price action, has it broken through that? Right. Well, there's a downward sloping line there, and price action is outside the top of that. You can see there's a downward sloping demand line running underneath prices, and together that forms a channel, which is these two red lines here, downward sloping, and within it you've got this center line demarked with a blue dashed parallel line within the center of the two of them. Right, fairly straightforward. And price action broke through that center when it came out of this fallen wedge, which in accumulation pattern speaks to a potential move. The measured move on that took us up to around 131, right? And we talked about this since right before February, halfway into January. We talked about how that was likely going to happen. Before then, even we talked about how that was likely going to happen, and we talked about these being the lows. So anyway, we did fucking whatever. We did loads of amazing shit. So if you're new, stick around, right? So. Price action at this point did those things we were talking about, and it's come back up, managed to make the fullness of that measured move and get to this first basketball, which is a basketball because we thought this area would bounce. Previously, it was a yellow circle, but that didn't look bouncy enough. And price action has got here and has been then, as we say, quite bouncy at that level, which I would suggest presents a degree of resistance. If we just zoom in on that particular zone, and you can see here again, I'll slap off the drawing so it's clear. We had one wick high, two wick highs, three wick highs, and then a body close, right? Body close. That's 4 candles that have all, in some aspect of their construction, found resistance at that exact same level, which when you look left was where price action broke down. It was also where it found support ahead of that trend change. So that's what we're looking to, a trend change. On the daily time frame, you can see the DMI demarks that that's potentially happening. You've got a positive sign on the RSI with price action pushing above the center line, though it's not managing to do anything particularly bullish. That is on the bullish side of that determination. Down below, you can see the MACDs have to follow through from a positive cross, which came just after we talked about it was likely going to come and lead price action up here. Right, so you've got that potential turnaround in momentum, and does then that signify continuation or reversal of the trend? Well, at this stage, it's what's took you here, but it's not saying that it's going to take you necessarily any further. We'll turn these drawings back on. No, let's keep them off actually, and turn on the moving averages. I didn't want to change the settings. Turn them on, make them visible. You see you're below the 200 simple on the daily time frame, which disqualifies any efficacious trade from a MACD. And this particular way I do technical analysis, shows you it's what brought you here. It's not necessarily what's going to bring you to the 200. It's brought you to the 50 simple. You need to open and close above the 50 simple, and perhaps at that stage you'd be looking to test the 200. The orientation here, we have the 50 below the 200, with each of them having a negative slope, suggests that the dominant trend is negative, that the most recent part of that trend is even more negative, and that the inflection on the tiny end of that would suggest that price action is going to continue to the downside, plus price action is below those things. So these are all dampeners on your enthusiasm, along with sensible things to consider how you're back when you're looking at price action and trying to decouple your emotions from and what you want to happen in your hopes and dreams from your trading decisions. Ryan Cohen's next week will be his 69th. That may be too smooth brain, but it certainly is provocative. Nice one. Good counting work. What's up, Coco? Why are you making that kind of noise? What about that kind of noise? Huh? I know when I go near you, you'll just run away, and then that's that game. You're going to get it, Balmjaro. I have complete faith in you. Yo, Kieran's Golf 92. I'm making his RSI on lessons having a mini freak out. A mini freak out? 92 and an RSI. Bloomin' heck. You're up there, really are up there. Like, Beyond the bullish control zone. Timmy needs us, or do I need Timmy? Schwartz, this is the thing. We don't know. It's a mutually beneficial relationship. If you consider it too much, ruins the magic. Also, there's a degree of fatigue that you don't want to even approach in that area. I've been practicing my number thing. Oh, you've been practicing a number thing? I get jealous when I hear that because I've not been practicing my number thing. And now I think, no, you're getting ahead of me. Oh, damn. Waka waka. Waka waka bing a bonga. Oh, yeah, nice. Dale Gilly. Are you really, Mr. Skinny over here, got the right chat? Waka 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 bing bonga. Waka waka make a phone. Haha, you're going to totally check out right back to the TA. So we're looking at this thing, we're thinking, Tradespotting, did you just try and distract us from the fact that you were saying negative things about price action? No, not at all. Because I want full credit when price action goes back to where I said it was. You know, nobody else is saying that. I want the credit, so I'm going to remind you of it. Yes, those stuff. Oh, who knows? But also, anything can happen at any time. Just when you think it can't, it's likely when it's going to. And I'm not saying it or ruling it out. I'm just saying the likely probability and where I would look to put any extra trades on would be in around those levels, right? Between 86 and 98, maybe 101. Doesn't get there, 110, maybe 111. Right, 119 is also a very obvious area for price action to take about. So there's those things, right? Those levels. Well, they're interesting. You don't even need to zoom in and chart nothing. I just literally came out and said them, just like that. So price action is below 50 simple, and that's what you're looking for. Get back here and get those really good cheap entries. 97. Pick up Timmy. See what he's been up to. Introduce him to new VW fan because it's got a pick. The side pops out. You can climb in, go sleep there. Brilliant. Also looks real stylish. You know, strap a surfboard on top. You get all the chicks. You just totally loving it, Timmy. That's what he needs. A little bit of R&R. Although sea's not very hot, so we're going to go abroad to do it. It's a bit of holiday. You know, which in case if you're going to travel, that might already be part of the holiday, right? Because it's all about the journey, not destination. So it's cruise ship. That's what that means. Wow, they'd be a good investment if they didn't just constantly dilute. What's that all about? Is there some contagion in the cruise lines that they just like? I'm a dilute today. Did you say something negative? No, positive. But you'll be able to get some more of it. Slightly cheaper, maybe. Who knows? Maybe even up to 30% off or more. Oh my goodness. Fudmonger, I am a fudmonger's wife is what I am. I'm chained to the fudmongers. I'm a fudmonger's wife all day, all night. Got the scales of the fud up my fingers. It's awful. I had to try to strip it away all day. The big crates of it. Oh, yeah, I don't know. And then I come home to my hubby and I'm all smelling like fud. And I can't wash the stink out of my hands, no matter how many hot baths I have. What up, Coco? Whoa. Yeah, man. The race or something. I didn't know. You can't win. I can't beat me. I didn't know we were racing. Yeah. Shit, I knew that time. You win that time. Download Tadpole or Monkey. This is the question. Why not all three? It's up to you, though. You definitely can pick one. So then I think you should. So you should. I also think you should take a technical analysis course. There's links in the description to both those two things. You should definitely look into it. Now, this is not financial advice. It's just good advice. Press the banana. Oh, wow. Right, if below the 50 simple period moving average, what to negative slope, negative splay. Oh, no. So that's the daily time frame, and you just look at it and you say, but the RSI is doing all right. And I'd be like, it's doing all right, aye. And then you'd be like, but the MACD cross back there. And I'd be like, aye, did that, aye. And then we go down to the 4 hour. Why is that 12 hour moving in there? Can you go away? Can I get... Bye. Yeah. Pardon me. I just did it being a bad murder, but nobody will know about it. That's the kind of murder you get away with. Look at that from Lisa. Dang, link. Thanks. RSI content added today as it happens. Along with assessment stuff there about the MACD. Oh, there's learnings galore. Learnings are us. Ahaha. So you had body closes, 2 of them around 93. So that's interesting. What was I actually trying to make a point here on the 4 hour time frame? Right, okay. So it looks like price action is maybe going to roll over there. DMI, no, positive. Continuation, strength of trend, that to the top side. Nice one. That's good. You can see here you've tried to push into the bullish control zone, held the center line, and now subsequently recovered your own moving average. That's also very good. And the MACD and signal line, top side of the histogram itself, expressed in positive momentum. All very good on a 4 hour until it isn't, right? Because you've also potentially got the MACD line crossing below the signal line now, and it's below the 200 period moving average, which would be a valid sell signal. You have got currently the RSI being trapped between is a resistance level on it, the oscillator, and you see price action at a horizontal level and not breaking it. It's not breaking it. We counted the number of chances it had, and it failed every one of them. So there's that to consider. Hey, yo, don't shoot me. I didn't shoot the sheriff. I just beat his stupid face to, right, and that, and it was, you know, well, they're different from where you are. They're different from where I am, right? It would be completely abnormal to trust the police, right? It would be stupid. It would be you'd have to be stupid, right? So, but it might not be like that everywhere. So, to make a really good point of pointing that out over the last year or two, on top of the fact that my whole life, but the police have done a really good job pointing, and no offense, but they have, like in Britain, what a joke. And anyway, so, and that's just in Britain, right? It's worse mostly. PayPal, about to pop, Tradespotting, nice one, check that out in a moment. All right, change subject, nice, thanks, saving me there. Fugazi. Right, so, looking at that, and you're like, right, cool, maybe it comes back down. 4 hour time frame, damn fucking sheriff, right? We beat his, like, and the deputy too is like, she didn't need to walk in when they did. It would have been fine. You didn't need to walk. You normally don't not back for another 15 minutes anyway. So, you know, I believe the worst words anyone wants to hear Wendy is doing that is, and that was all just a joke, right? It's a parody. It's a parody. Don't take it seriously. Calm down. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Calm down. It's only a commercial, not a problem on r/GME mate. This is a dating subreddit. It has some good info on DRSing. You mean dating from Australia? Oh right, yeah. No, I don't know. I don't date Australians. I did date Australian for a while actually. Now that you bring it up, Mr. Cobb, I did date Australian, but she wasn't actually Australian. She's actually Australian. She's lived there. She's lived in Australia, but she's actually born somewhere else. Fascinating story. If you're not already in it, what, Australia? Well, I mean, this is the thing, right? And once you leave, are you going to be able to afford to get back? Because the Chinese are buying all the houses. This is it, right? This is it. So do you leave? I mean, I fancy the way, but I can't even leave the front door because I don't know it's going to be sold out from under me. Also, sleep is not. Wait a minute. The rest of the message. Also. Sleep. What? It's non-existent, which works. Am I ever done it? What are you talking about? Sleep. Mr. Corner Cobb, now you've really lost me. Right, back to the technical analysis, which we managed to make it to the 4 hour time frame. That's a really good achievement. And we talked about how the DMI says yes. And these things also say, cool, keep going. It's just in my own experience, that's also when there's what they're saying is, yeah, keep cool. You keep going. I'll stay. You keep going, mate. No bother. So that's what, right? So then you'd be looking at this to say, have I got my drawings on? Well, they're on now. And I've already done it, as you can see. The very relevant Fibonacci's all over price action. Oh, live long day. Why did that just happen? Just fucked up, mate. I didn't change that. I don't know what happened there. I'm afraid to touch things. GME back on the church. Now, I wanted to delete that. Go away. Thanks. So now you have these 3 Fibonacci's that will be relevant to levels that price action may get back to should it come back down the way, right? You've got your golden pocket of this retracement from, where is this one drawn from? This is the thing, when you're drawing this is from your low to your high. So it's a bearish retracement against that bullish move, and the 236 comes in at 128.79. Hi, Coco, you playing in that? If that's a good place to play, I would do that too if I wasn't busy. Yeah, big time. So, and beyond that, you're looking at the meow, just saying, I've got a bulb and sleep is non-existent. A bulb? You mean a bulb? Mr. Corn on the Cob, you mean a bulb? A really bright bulb, like lots of lumens. Too many candles. This lumens, right? That's like, how many candles would be the equivalent? You know? And there's just got candles here. It's just the candles everywhere. Oh my God, the candles in the roof. What is the Coco? Okay, back to technical analysis. Shut up talking shit. Right. Price action. 4 hour time frame. No, we're down now. You were on the 1 hour time frame. Congratulations, we made it. And another checkpoint reached. Managed to recover and maintain this progression. It's a linear progression here on the RSI with our scale from 0 to 100. And you can see that comes in was broken. Price action recovered, used it as support again, then again back above its own moving average. There was a negative cross potentially leading to a downward move that was undone when we found support as the 50 simple crossed above the 200 period simple moving average. That's a thing to be aware of right now. And the 8 period moving average is also holding price action. So that would suggest that you're still within a very bullish trend, or certainly in a very positive oscillation at the very least. So that you have a positive trend in ascendancy on the DMI, though no strength to it. And while the MACD has managed to turn around at the potential cross of the center line, you can see that it's come back with very little enthusiasm, which you also were able to tell from price action coming in with it looks like a double top here. And you could imagine an M on price action. Should that be the case, price action is likely going to test 97. If it doesn't, it'll stop at 110, 109, 111, those sort of zone. And if it stops there but not go lower, if it does go lower, then it's going down to these levels, right? Where this has been in and isn't getting moved from until such times as price action moves up. Brad, I think it was yesterday, was asking, well, if I don't get 97, like, where's the point to change my mind on, even on this oscillation, you know, don't know where it's going to ultimately, but like on this time before new funds come in, then it might be that if price action manages to touch up at around 169, you don't see it again. We did, Brad, I think, speculated around 133 and or around 131, I can't remember, but that was the level of resistance that we're likely to anticipate, that we anticipated seeing today, and we did see that. And then breaking that level wouldn't necessarily mean that you don't come down lower either. Violating it, significantly breaking through it and going up to 169 would then leave you with a bigger area below to put in some support. And this, having previously been seen to be resistance, would then potentially act as support, and after a number of tests, one or more might prove to be significant in terms of pushing price up again. So that's what you'd look to in terms of adjusting your entry should price action make a move to the top side. And ultimately it's not one of those moves I'd be making, because I'll look and see how price action evolves in around those zones. It might be that I'd get it beforehand on smaller term time frames if it looked like it was doing things, and depend on what instrument I was trading and how it was going things. But my orders are thinking in around 97 to 86. Those are the sort of places that I'd be looking at until I see significant changes in the structure of price action on that daily time frame with regards to those horizontals we talked about on support and resistance, and from previous price action, and also the Fibonacci levels that you can see there on the chart of this particular oscillation. Should we hold this area of support that we've recently put in, Coco, which is possible, just, you know, from the narrative of those moving averages that we talked about at the start of this section. What's up, Coco, man? And yeah, and whatever else that I was going to go on to say. So 1 hour time frame, this is the last of the significant levels where you might be able to take positive cues for trades. And then down here, I mean, like, especially if you're a hodler, down here, these are other things like 30-minute, you'll get a good picture of the momentum on even some of those significant time frames, what you might be able to lead into it, you know, momentum, how it's going. It's important, right? Because it's a measurement of velocity. And as such, yo, Manifestancy, there you are, my friend. I don't see you often enough. How are you doing? Good to see you. Yeah, I don't know. She's running around, meow, meow, and she's quite happy, so it's not a problem. No problem at all. And we were on 30 minutes, so we're talking about momentum. I was saying, yes, well, trend, whatever, right? You already identified much more significant trends. You can see from the RSI, again, that's like a significant line, it's still holding it. And then you've had your positive cross in the MACD. You were above the 200 period moving average. You were at the time crossing below from the center line. And then you had everything you needed for a positive move. You got that, and you've gone, perhaps you'd give yourself a 1.5 to 1 risk reward with a trade on that sense, right? And this is just taking it from my own edge and my own, right, over a period of time. If this would have had to have been my entry, well, damn, it's not a long position. Yo, get a figure out of my face. This would have been my entry. A little bonk, and then this would have had to have been my stop below the previous low, at which point I would have been looking for a 1.5 to 1 risk reward, and I'm on a 30-minute time frame here, and this is like not what I would have been doing with GME. But if I was trading something, I didn't want that. I wanted to move it from the button. You know, I might only have been anticipating something like I can't really see from here. Am I blind or is this too small? Come on. You know, I might only have been anticipating a trade of this sort of level, right? And that's like a touch on risk reward built into the edge that I would use. Not all of the indicators that constitute that edge are here, but that's like, and so I would anticipate then when price action was coming back, tested this area, you would think, hey, well, I mean, that was where we broke through. You can see when you look left, it was obviously an area of support of resistance anyway. And then I would anticipate this is an area for retest. And still that hasn't changed. That thesis is still much more likely. Gap at $1.95. $1.95. So you have to discount those gaps that come right at the IPOs. But I don't know what else you're talking about. So I don't know if I can contribute to that. Yep. Loading up soon. I had 1.40 yesterday. Well, it definitely isn't what I'm talking about. That's interesting, though. Big gaps between those percentage-wise, between those two areas. So maybe it makes for an interesting trade, what you guys are talking about in chat box. Shout out to the chat box. So, yeah. So this is what... I can't remember what I was even saying now. I'm forgetting all the time. This is what happens when you start your show. This time, if the La Madrugada 15-minute, then just like the same thing, hyper focused on this little momentum move. What's going on? Test, weakening momentum, weakening trend, crap trend anyway. 30 minutes. Oh my god, Tradespotting Technical is coming right again and 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 again. Right, AMC, time. Look, time and time again, AMC does what I draw on charts. Here's it doing it again. Look at that. Lovely jubbly. Bing, 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 bing. Bing, retrace, and bing. And we got it. And here we are. And we've made most of that move. Again, tested this area. We've managed to open and close above that horizontal. But I don't think we've broken above the significant levels. That being 236, we've gone through it, 382, and then the 50% provided resistance on a wick, and then 2 wick highs. The 50 simple period moving average is just above there at what you would expect to be extrapolation of a supply line, and then also meeting price now as it meets resistance. Nice to meet you. Hi, I am Mr. Price Action. Hi, I'm Mr. Resistance. Shall we go for a stroll? Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to have to, Mr. Resistance. Anyway, here you are looking at this range then. 1440 to 20 plus something bucks. That's a huge range, 25%. And if you're trading options, then, you know, congratulations, right? Oh my goodness, the pointer has gotten an error. It's because it's been on too long. I didn't turn it off last night, and now the battery issues, but I'm still here, and Banana's still here. Yes. And here we are looking at the MCTA. Right, so price action, meeting resistance. Nice to meet you. We went through that. Buen conozco. Right, so aquí estoy con el MACD. Anyway, right, so nice to see you. Now, stop it, Jamie, stop it. Okay, so the RSI covered its slow moving average, and it also then went straight up. Test center line, I suppose you could call that a meander rather than a stroll. They're having like a little bit of a smooch. It's above the 50%, right? It's above, sorry, 50, above the center line, we'll call it, because that's its name. And though it's not got a very dramatic break of it, I wouldn't say it's particularly emphatic. And at this stage of the move, you would say if it was going to break the center line, you would want to see it go straight to the bottom of the bullish control zone here, or bottom of the overbought. Anywho, you could say it's potentially moving into the bullish control zone. It's just that, would you really use that as the zone at the moment when you've been in such a strong prevailing downtrend? I don't think so. I don't think you can rely on that information. I think if you are trying to, especially if you're talking about it on the internet and you're trying to influence other people, then you're probably an idiot. There's just making stuff up to make it seem like you've got something unmade up. That's what I think. That's what I think they're doing. Pretty much all of them, all the time. Anyway, so what is I? Well, apparently do whatever. So, yeah, whatever. Let's just try to find another avenue to get back to talking shit again, which is, again, what I'm doing now. So, stop that. Fucking hell, eh? So daily time frame AMC in a range, and though it is consolidating at resistance, that's particularly positive, and you're in a positive trend with the DI positive in ascendancy, though you haven't got any support from the ADX, and you are slipping into the positive zone in the RSI. That's great, and you've had positive momentum on the MACD, so everything does look okay, and you could think like things might break to the upside now. You could. It's just you've got all those other things I mentioned in advance of that point. The 200 being quite far away, negative splay between it and the 50 simple, which itself is at the extrapolation of a supply line from a number of previous hits. It would be in the formation of a downward slope and broadening wedge, and that would lead to price action coming back down, testing these lows again. Maybe not the full extent of that move, maybe on a wick, maybe not. Depends on the volatility and the reaction of market participants at the time. But I can tell you a lot of them don't watch this show, and they're going to shit a brick when price action gets down there again, because they only heard from a friend who's never heard of Tradespotting that price action might get back to 97, and then bought loads there, and then they thought like, well, that was that then, you know. And when it gets back there or in around those levels, who knows what's going to happen to their particular outlook. Now that was on GME, still equivalent is here on AMC, right? More or less 14, 12, right? Goes beyond their 10. He's doing it again. He's doing it again. I don't even know if it's ethical for me to do that, but you know, whatever. LG do Super Cashy, they are old enough. Well, that's it, right? That's it. They are old enough, so they make their own decisions now. Get out, not under my roof. This is under the roof. That's the thing with this, right? 74. I really, this is it. This is it. I'm right at it. This is why I need to be sploshing. If I'm at this time I'm awake, I need to be sploshing. So yeah, daily time frame, everything looks positive, but only you know, and you know me. So 4 hour time frame, yes, excellent, right? So we have this potential like sign of weakening momentum as price action puts in a higher high. That looks like it potentially could then form a wedge, which would be an upward sloping narrowing wedge, which would be distribution likely coming. Diamond Hands live right now on Ronaldo's channel. Has this ever happened? Oh my goodness, I'm far too late. Way, Ronaldo the legend. Absolutely check that out. You know, absolutely 100% check that out. Ronaldo's channel and Ronaldo Moreno, total legend, really good entertainment, really good tunes, and really friendly guy. And he's got an incredible song about GME, which is fucking quality. So good that even AMC people absolutely dig it, really do dig it properly. So, and that's what they say. Like, I've got messages about that. I also got them anyway. So, so the AMC, right? Yeah, potentially putting in a little bit of a formation that suggests there's a touch distribution coming. You can see that while the ADX is strengthening, perhaps the DI positive isn't as ambitious as it was once the ADX. Looking at it, where you got a potential cross coming up here, and you're below the 200 period moving average, and that's a 4 hour time frame, significant enough. 1 hour time frame, you can see, yes, well, that's averted that first one, but you've now had another, and center line looking vulnerable. You can see price action has been pushed out of the bullish control zone. Rocky. Oh, Rocky, what do we look at? How do we call this Rocky? Rockstar. Ooh, what do we call this? And if you don't know, then you probably don't tune into Rocky Outcrop's channel. And if you do, then you don't tune in enough. And no, I'm not talking about some fucking inverted head and shoulders fucking nonsense. No, what the frick? You're wrong. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this, followed by this, followed by this, followed by this, motherfucker. And then what does that mean? Bah. You know, you could look at it different ways too, right? You could talk about it like this as one overall concept, right? And then you could talk about that, and then you could talk about this, and then you could then obviously have to be talking about that again, and then you got something real helpful, right? Across all our indicators, right? Across all our assets, real helpful, really goddamn fucking helpful, like so good. Just like top level stuff right now. Top level stuff. You want to understand it, take the course, right? You take the course. Sending slumbering vibes your way, sort of. Oh no, because they went viral. Oh no, they infected me too. No, I want to go to slumber. I want slumber school. That's my sort of school. Why am I talking about that? This is genuinely so helpful. Tradespotting. Yeah, Kieran. It is. It's so helpful. It's incredible. Oh my God. I deserve a holiday. It is so good. This is unbelievable, right? This is so amazing right now. And I'd like to thank Rocky for persuading me to come here and do this sort of thing. I'd like to thank the chat box for giving me the unrelenting motivation, determination to see this through until the fucking bastards are dead, metaphorically speaking. And I'd like to thank my mother and father for being shagging like that and making me, wow, I was so good at them to do that. Whoa, were they even thinking about that at the time? Well, they tell you they were, weren't they? But they weren't. They were probably thinking awful, sinful things. I made, and then, you know, does that actually is this whole thing actually just all of original sin infected and everything? My Lord Tradespotting, you deserve a night of sleep. Yeah, right. As if. I've read all about what I deserve. I've read about it countless times and from various sources, and not once did it say, you know what you deserve, Tradespotting? A night of sleep. Nope, it didn't say that. It said other things. Say horrible things. Yeah, parents should never be shagging. It's a disgrace. Who cried at a river and drowning the whole world? Oh, yeah, terrible. What? Who did that? To the crybaby. Shout out to JCCPD. Everyone needs mum as well. That everyone does. They do. You need both of them. You need both of them, unless you like test tube baby. Of which, you know, there's test tube babies older than me. There's plenty of them. It's not that crazy, right? It's just the application of technology. There's innovations after the creation as well. Sometimes they're much more significant than that moment of genius that brought that solution to the world in the first place. Crazy, right? Crazy. Will Ferrell's parents as well. What the fucking what is this conversation? There's a Catalina wine mixer. All sorts of shit happens after that. Nobody knows. Tents, radios, VCR players outside and that, right? Champagne bottles up and down the street. Next morning, there's people pregnant in that. Will Ferrell is born. And then there's funny things happen. It's still apples. You're legend, 3 a.m. and you're here with us. Is it 3 a.m.? Holy shit, it's 10 past 3. Look at you, Rich. Mr. Agrillo, downplaying my achievements. I have done an extra 25% on top. Well, I mean, that's, you take it 25%, you're undercutting me by 20%. I've done an extra 33%, you know, right? Jeepers creepers out here slaving away over a hot shirt. Oh, look, I didn't mean to do a drawing and I did one. I got away with it. Right, so this is also a test here. 1 hour time frame, 50% pull up, 200 period moving average. At the same time as price action meeting a level of resistance. Hello, nice to meet you, etc. And buen conozco hasta luego. Cuando? Pues ahora mismo. Get your hot, fresh shirts here. Hot shirts coming up. They fly off the shelves like warm baked goods. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, totally. So I think that BBC Scotland should give me a show, right? I do, because I've lived in this country, and so I know that you know, of all the quantitative and qualitative aspects about what it is that qualifies somebody to get a show on TV in the country. I know, and have determined that they should give it to me. And now that I've said it out loud, and Scotland's quite a small place, I expect that it'll happen anytime soon, unless they're complete numpties over there. Are they? Oh yeah. If I only had an Ethereum for every dollar in my account, I say, if I only had $1 million for every dollar I ever thought about, I would love to have 5 Ethereum. I'd love to have 1 million Ethereum. Love that. I'd love it if that happened. I think Airbus should give the people a statue of Jamie and Rocky side by side. Yeah, I think so too. 5 of them, right? 5 of them, and all right up and next to each other. All right fucking next to each other. 5 statues. Yep. At various points throughout the previous few weeks. A statue for each of those defining moments. No, that would be ridiculous. That would be ridiculous. I'm now totally not, that's not right. So I mean, you know, 5 statues, that's just silly, right? 3 statues, fine, you could spread them out a bit. Okay, deal, right? That's deal, okay? You can't make a deal because you're not Edinburgh City Council. Hello? Oh, you're Edinburgh City, you'll do it, thanks. What? I mean, where did I make it to? 1 hour AMC. I made it here. I made it to 1 hour AMC, Coco. I know, price action didn't really go very far. Ah, look, there's your bum. Not quite as close to my face as the camera makes it look. There's your banana. Do you like your banana? Look, we're going to update this. There we go. Coco Cam. So there's your banana. I've got banana. It says that. What do you think? You're happy? Look, you've got druggy eyes. That's the banana for you. So yeah, price actions, right? It's probably going to come back down a little bit in AFC. They could potentially 25% off. That's not bad, right? Not bad at all. 30 minutes, quick check on that momentum. There's that information there. Take the course, right? Did I touch on that? Take the course, and then 15-minute time frame. It's already happening. Oh my goodness, you are a day ahead. Again, Tradespotting. You're a day ahead of everybody. So it was wonderful. It was beautiful. It was fantastic. It was gorgeous. It was absolutely amazing. I know that we did talk about looking at other things, but I'm worried that the 80-20 rule, I may have already exceeded it. So I'd like to thank Vlad, who donated before the show started to say blah, 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 Blagadoria GME. And that really is the most beautiful message I've seen today. Thank you very much. Coco, you're doing that clean yourself thing. Oh, you clean your hand and then your hand cleans your face. That's pretty cute cat style. You clean the top of your hands. That's well cute. She's doing that clean the top of your hand, not the bottom. That's nice too. Because why would you need to clean the top of your hands like that? And then she rubs it on her face. Yeah. Rubbing my face. Da-da-da. Face cleaning. Look, do more face cleaning. Not with the tongue, with the hand. Yes, that's the thing. That's the money shot. Haha, we got it. Good night, folks.